love this country and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take U.S.
For your free speech to be censored? Are you ready to be put into re-educational camp? Huh? Because you need to stand up. It's already happening all around the world, and right now, Ireland's being hit. They're about to pass a bill on what is false narrative, what is hate narrative, hate speech. They're doing the same thing for the last several years now. And I've got all the receipts, well, a lot of the receipts, just to make a nice show for you to be able to prove it, okay? And how it's happening. They've been talking about it for over 8 years now, especially the last 4 years in this administration that we have in office right now, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, okay? And I have them saying it, okay? And Mr. Tim Walz, Mr. Tampon King himself, Mr. Tampon King. I got him. I got a lot of people. And I'm going to let you listen to this. But first, before we get into that, I want you to listen to Tucker Carlson and Elon Musk first and what they have to say about the censorship right now and your free speech, about you being brainwashed and about how you're read and how they're coming for you. You understand? This is something that we need to stand up for and get ahead of it. You vote blue, our kids are going to war. You vote blue, we're being censored. Who are they to say on what is hate speech? Who are they to say? What political party is in office at that time? We have to stand in front of it because they're already doing it. We're already being canceled. We're already being censored. You can see this already on Facebook, YouTube, and not so much Twitter, X, and you don't see that on Rumble, but you see that right here on Facebook and YouTube, and they're killing themselves. And pretty soon I will be completely off of Facebook. It's inevitable, especially if these laws keep being passed around here the way we're going. We're not going to have any guns. We're not going to have any of that. It's tyranny. We're going into a place where we shouldn't be, a communist party. You got the FBI line on what's going on, okay? And truthfully, there was actually 3 attacks, and I'm going to prove that in my next video. I've already put a post down below that there was an attack in Tucson, Arizona. They were saying it was chemical, but they're also saying now it's a UV laser light. The people's eyes were burning, and they lost sight for days and days. And some of the people are getting their vision back, and they're the people that were sitting right behind him on the left-hand side, over his right-hand side shoulder, where he enters and exits from on the stage, okay? And some of the skin peeled and burnt off. It could have been chlorine, ammonia, stuff like that, some kind of gas. You just put it in a bottle with some water. Once you're there, a water bottle, and have these tablets and stick them into it and shake it up real well, and then when you're ready, you crack it open and let it go, right? So there was 20 people that were hit. The FBI are already watching it and trying to figure out who was around at that particular point in juncture or in that area for the laser beam, because he would have to be sitting on Trump's opposite side to be able to go across. And you know how Trump moves. He's moving all the time. So he didn't really get hit. And if he did, he's not really crying about it because he's not a whiner, okay? He's not afraid about what people have to say. But at the same time, you should be. And they're censoring what type of news that's getting out to you. A lot of people don't know about that 3rd attack. It was right before the one that Trump got shot at in the golf course, okay? And then both of those boys that shot at Trump, they were actually spotted in advertisement for Ukraine that was sponsored by BlackRock. Okay, that's a whole nother podcast. But right now, I want to show you what a collaboration of videos that I put together and another team of mine, a great friends of mine, put together, loaned me some of their data, their archived information, put it all together to actually show you who is saying this and what they're saying and for how long they're saying it, because you're going to see stuff from way, way, way back, okay? And then and then you're going to be blown away. So stay tuned. We're going to get into it right now.
It does seem like there's race hate at the bottom of it. I can't think of a better explanation. I mean, there have been wars in Africa, sort of every week for my entire life, and no one's saying we've got too many Africans in Nigeria, let's replace them with Indians or something. No one would even think to say that. But poor Ireland, which didn't really do anything wrong on the world stage that I'm aware of, in 100 years, there'll be, a minority of Irish people in Ireland. That's a big change, and it's on purpose. How could anyone read that as anything but an expression of hate?
The thing we should be concerned about is if the Irish Parliament passes a bill that defines hate speech as whatever they think hate speech is, people should be extremely concerned about that. You're just at the mercy of the ruling party and whatever bureaucrats they put in place, and they can just define something that really is not hate speech as hate speech just because they don't like it.
It sounds like a Black Mirror episode. The police can enter your home unannounced, search your phone and computers, and arrest you for the things that you're reading, watching, or posting online. If you refuse, you could be sentenced to 12 months in prison. But it's not a Black Mirror episode. It's worse than that. It's real life. At this very moment, the government of Ireland is trying to pass a law before Christmas that will let the police go into people's homes and confiscate their phones and computers. Now, you might think Ireland doesn't matter, that it could disappear tomorrow without much impact. But Ireland does matter. It's the test case for the next phase of the global crackdown by military and intelligence forces and their agents that's been happening over the last 7 years. What they used to call a conspiracy theory has now been confirmed as true.
You thought I was joking with you, huh? It's coming. They've been talking about it. Now they're implementing it. Ireland's the first base case for the most part to implement it over here. It happens differently. This whole freaking agenda that's been happening in the last 4 years is on purpose. Nothing's by accident. Nothing. Even the border, the wide open borders, the flood everything. All that is on purpose. They're here to crash our economy. They're here to crash our dollar. They're here to crash your soul, your spirit. Americans are stronger than that, relatives. I know you are. We can change this on November 5th. Even if you vote for RFK, shoot, he's a good man. He's going to be working with Trump anyways if RFK doesn't win. Then we'll have Trump for 4 years, and then afterwards we'll have RFK for 8. Sounds like a great plan to me.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
You can't say that you have one rule for Facebook and you have a different rule for Twitter. There has to be a responsibility that is placed on these social media sites to understand their power. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation, and that has to stop.
But I also think there are Americans who are engaged in this kind of propaganda, and whether they should be civilly or even in some cases criminally charged is something that would be a better deterrent.
I don't feel at home with people who believe in censorship. I think it's disqualifying. It's antithetical and inconsistent with democracy. And we had Hillary Clinton yesterday making this extraordinary statement that endorsing this censorship of speech in our country. We have Kamala Harris saying that free speech is a privilege. It's not a right. And Tim Walz saying the same thing. And I think that is disqualifying for anybody who wants to be president of the United States to believe in censorship.
They've been brainwashed, Joy. I really believe that they have been brainwashed by this misinformation campaign.
So how do you de-radicalize
these people?
Once we educate them, we coach them on how to interact and empower the person to start thinking for themselves.
I think a lot of people are going to have to be deprogrammed.
We had a program addressing white supremacists. That we had programs, federal programs, that went towards funding organizations like these that de-radicalized people, and President Trump pulled the plug.
I think the only group out there that needs to be de-radicalized is the Democrat Party. They're the ones that's been doing it for years. Ever since Trump was on office, there was all these Antifa riots, all these places being burnt down. That was organized by the Democrats. That was organized through Black Swan events and stuff like that. Well, that's Black Swan events, but it was organized by BlackRock, Vanguard, all of those people, okay? So this is not small potatoes. They run through non-government organizations, NGOs, to be able to get it to the people so it doesn't really cross the senators, the mayors, and all their hands for the most part. But if you look around, you'll find the money if you dig deep enough. It's always about the money. It's always about the power. And they want to censor us. They're the ones that are censoring us, already, but they're the ones that need to be censored. They are the ones that need to be censored. So let's get back into this. You're going to love this next part.
How are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump?
Even if we were to have a resounding blue wave come through, as many of us would like, putting it all back together again after we've gone through this MAGA nightmare and re-educating, basically, which that sounds like a rather a re-education camp. I don't think we really want to call it that.
See, re-educational camp with a blue wave. So you already know it's the blue side that's doing it. If they can get a blue wave, but that's not happening. Americans are waking up. Who do they got? They got all the illegal immigrants, right? The 22 million of them. There's 325,000 kids that are missing out of the migrant passage. They're gone. They can't find them. DHS has lost them. This administration, it pisses me off is what it does. So, sorry, relatives. It's just crazy. This is only going to get crazier if we don't stand up. You can change what's happening right now by voting for Trump. You can even help by voting for RFK. Go for it. But RFK is going to be working for Trump. He's going to be taking care of our food, taking care of our health insurance, taking care of all of our medicines that we might need or people do need. How can you go wrong with Trump? Less taxes for the working men. No taxes for for all the waitresses. No taxes for the people that are on Social Security. More energy independent. We will be dependent on nobody anymore. We're sitting on more oil than anybody else. We have the best scrubbing techniques in the world to cut down those so-called emissions that they're wanting, but they're wanting to sell all that to where? Other countries, right? I met a guy not too long ago, this summer, about 4 months ago, going down the river, and I asked him what he did for a living. He says, I sell carbon credits. I was like, whoa, oh my God, really? And I said, who's your biggest buyer? He said, Boeing. And I was like, well, of course, Boeing would be the biggest carbon credit buyer. I was like, well, who's your biggest country? He said, China. Can you believe that? But it's all in cahoots. This is all part of their plan, their master plan. Let's get back into this video. We're almost done, relatives, and you're going to love this one. This is a doozy.
To be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
guests always ask me, don't I wish I were debating him? No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym. That's what I wish. I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
That you cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
President Walker, how do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
When they go low, we kick.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Told you, it was all them. They're the ones that are pushing all this January 6th stuff. They're the ones that are pushing all the violence around here in this world. They're the ones that are pushing it here in the United States. That's for God-given sure. We can see that, and I hope you can see that. I'm jumping through the archives, just trying to find all this stuff. It took me a while. It took me a while to go to my other InfoWars and try to find it there. This is not easy. Research is not easy. Putting the truth out there could get me in trouble. I could be thrown in jail. I could be thrown in the Hooskow, solitary confinement with the January 6th people. This is nothing to play around with. And these next two clips I got for you is how they're wanting to shoot Trump. Two clips, okay? Listen to the first one. It comes right towards the end. She slips. She's done a Floridian slip. And then she corrects herself. And the last one, straight out just says it. Just straight up says it. Might as well go ahead and just shoot him. This is where you get the negativity flashbacks. This is where you get people like those two guys, Crooks and Ruth. Ruth is his name, I think, to go shoot at Trump. Try to take him out. You can't take him out. He's got the armor of God just straight up on him. He's got so many guardian angels right now. You ain't even touching the armor of God yet. Not even close. Here's these next two clips.
Having Trump not only have had the codes, but now having the classified information for Americans and being able to put that out and share it in his resort with anyone and everyone who comes through should be terrifying to all Americans, and he needs to be stopped.
And the donor class can't just sit back on the sidelines and say, oh, well, don't worry, this will all work itself out. They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in.
Told you. It all comes out in the end. They can't lie anymore. We got them right where we want them. That's why they're scared. That's why they want to take out Trump. That's why they want to take out Tucker, Elon Musk. That's why they want to take out you, me, people who speak the truth and can actually see past their BS. We're not brainwashed. They brainwashed everybody else. This is an old tactic they've used for hundreds and thousands of years. Well, relatives, that's what I have to say about it. And just stand up, make the change, make the difference. It's November 5th. But it's that 76 days of hell that we have to wait for after that. Till inauguration. Leave a comment down below if you like what you hear today, you like what you saw today. Please don't forget to press that thumb button, and don't forget to like and follow up above. And there's those three little dots on Facebook. If this video is still up, you can push that and then hit all notifications. You'll be able to get notifications right here on God's Green Earth, CPR, your lifeline to the true news on God's Green Earth. So anyways, let's leave something for our family, our relatives, our kids out there, our kids, and our friends' kids out there, and let's vote right this year and get these mofos out of the office, man. But please don't hurt nobody out there. Just keep your cool, keep your peace, have talks, and if it gets heated, sometimes we just got to walk away. Sometimes we can't fix them all. But God said, don't leave anybody behind. But same time, he also says, if you can't fix them, you can't fix them. They have to be willing to change. We all know that. So until next time, I'm Jeff Winsett.
My people of this country, and we're under attack. They banning us, they cancel us for speaking the facts. If you man enough, come stand with us, take USA back. And every time we pull up, all you're gonna see is American flag.